Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining. It's Monday evening at 7 o'clock. A little bit late, a little after 7 Arizona time. And my name is Debbie Singleton. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And I normally come to you live Monday evenings and bring you a card project. So thank you for joining me. I hope everyone had a nice weekend. This weekend actually was really nice outside. So it was so nice to actually enjoy this weekend. So hopefully everyone had a great time. We had a wonderful weekend. We got to play bunco for my granddaughter's dance studio, and actually our entry fee paid half of it, more than half of it went to my granddaughter, so she got a big chunk of that money, so that was really nice. And then they had a silent auction, and you got a 50-50 raffle, so we got to pay some more money, and a lot of it went to the big fund, but she'll get a portion of that as well to help pay for her dance competitions and all that kind of stuff. So that'll help my daughter so she doesn't have to pay quite as much for all her competitions and stuff. So that's really nice. So that's exciting. That was exciting. We had a great time. And then the fam went out. Good evening, Mom. Thanks for joining. So then the fam went out afterwards, and we just had such a great time. Super enjoyable. So we actually had a great day and a great evening to actually all get together. And then yesterday I spent time on my card trying to decide what I wanted to do. And I actually had an idea in my head that I wanted to do for last Monday. And then I just kind of spent the time trying to make it come to fruition. So I just kind of spent some time to gather it all together and make it work together. So we have our online store that we have, that Stampin' Up! Has rolled out. It's called Online Exclusives, and they're going to roll these out a couple times a year, and one's in March. And so if you go online, you can purchase some things. And so I think I purchased almost everything that's online, just because some of these things are super cute. I have just now placed another order, and I purchased a couple of other things that are online. So from what I understand, that these things will not be in the new catalog. These are something separate than the new catalog that's coming out. So we have the new catalog that will be coming out in May. We get to preview it. Actually, we'll have some previews this coming week, and then we'll get to order from that preview coming April 4th. So can't wait to see what's coming. There'll be new colors that'll be coming, new stamp pads, new paper colors. Excuse me, my nose is running. I don't know why. And super excited. They'll retire some colors, and then they'll bring some colors in to replace the retiring colors. So that's happening this week, and I'm super excited to see what they're bringing out with new colors. That's always fun. But if you go to the online store, you can, of course, do that. You can go to design it with deb.stampinup.net, which is in my store, and there's a link that you can click to the online store and see what's in there. And that's where I got this stamp set that we're going to use tonight. Super duper cute. So if you don't want to order online, you can always email me and I can order it for you. Some people don't like to just order online, but others we're finding out do like to order online. So you can go to my store and see what is online and just send me a message and say, hey, this is what I want, and I can order it for you. So these are super cute. They are called Rhino Ready Dies and Stamp Set. Oh my goodness. So again, they're doing the similar things. You can buy this as a package or buy it separately. But this Rhino set is, oh my goodness, so cute. Absolutely cute. So I purchased it, of course, as a set, the dies and the stamp set. And so in this stamp set, it has in here, you're built tough, hello friend, you're stronger than you think, it's a great day, Hope your birthday is wild. And then it has these rhinos that are so cute. And then it has like a little, you know, when you're at a birthday party, you blow through it and it rolls out. Oh my goodness, it's so cute. And then this little bird you can cut out. So I made this card, and we're going to actually make a little different version of this card because the first time I made this card, it's a little fun fold. So I made this card, and then we're going to make a different version of it. So I made this one. This is the card that I made. And we're going to make a different, it's going to be a fun fold, but I'm going to make different colors of it. But this is the one that I made, and it is so cute. I just thought it was super fun. The idea that I had was to do the fun fold, and so I couldn't figure out, because usually when you do a fun fold, you do DSP paper, and I just like, I don't have any DS paper to do this with. So I was racking my brain. So I saw somebody actually did a different version of this. She did something completely different, and she used DS paper, and it was different paper as well. I was like, oh my gosh, that whole huge pack that I still have a ton of it that we got for free every time you ordered $50. And so I went in and I grabbed this paper, which works perfect. This is such cute paper. So then I was like, oh my gosh, we can do that. So that's what I did. But I was like, oh my gosh, that actually worked out pretty cute. So I did that. So then I had another idea. So that's what we're going to do tonight, is we're going to do sort of the same principle, but I did different colors, and we're going to do it a little bit differently. So tonight we're using still the Rhino Ready dies. We're also using the new, it's also on online. It's called Radiating Stitches dies. Oh my goodness, these dies are so amazing. So these dies, look at this. So these are the radiating dies. This is the big one, and then there's two other sizes, a heart and two circles. So I used these two sizes here to make these two pieces. Look at this, and they go inside each other, which is so fun. That's what I liked about them. So they go inside each other like this. So I thought that was super fun. So we're going to use that one. And then to do so then to make this, it's a great day, I used the Something Fancy dies, and that cuts this out. So that makes that piece. So I cut it all out because there was so much cutting out. It was too much cutting. So I cut everything out. So for this card base, so it's a pretty simple card base. It's 8.5 by 5.5. And what I did was I scored it at 4 1/4, and then again at 2 1/8. That gives us this little flap here. So it would be a normal card base. That's your 4 1/4, and then your 2 1/8, and you just fold it back like this, and that gives us that little flap. And then inside I wanted to call it hippo, the rhino, is this really cute blades of grass. And so then I took Granny Apple Green, and I just stamped it randomly. So I just opened up the card base like this, and I was playing with it, so I just didn't cut out another card base. So I just randomly stamped on this card base here, and that's what is giving us this kind of this, let's see, yep, you can kind of see it. So it's giving us this print, because I didn't want it to be plain. So I gave us a print to it. So, pardon me, now it's not going to be plain there. So I did, excuse me, I had hiccups. So on the inside of this white piece that's going to go in. So then I also did, I didn't want this to just be plain white either, because when you see this, it's going to, when you have it here, it'd be all just plain white. I didn't want it to be just plain white and green. So I cut another piece of the Mossy Meadow. So this is cut normal. So this is cut 5 1/4 by 4. And then this layering piece is cut 3 3/4 by 4 and by 5, sorry. So this is cut, the Mossy Meadow is cut 5 1/4 by 4, and this is cut 3 3/4 by 5. So then this will layer nicely. So I didn't stamp the little grass at the bottom. So we'll stamp the little grass at the bottom. We'll stamp that on there. What I did was I stamped a little bit. Yeah. You can stamp it all the way. I stamped it a little off the bottom. Not much, but. And I think I overlapped it just a little bit. But your grass is not even. If you look outside in your yard, your grass isn't even. So that gives it your tallness and your shortness. So then there you go. So there's our grass. I just didn't want it to be plain inside. And then we're going to stamp our, it's your birthday, hope it's wild. So that's this stamp. And this all comes in there. So I stamped it in the black memento. I just thought, and I have this on here crooked, and I should probably take it off and put it back on because I stamped mine crooked. So let's put this back on here. See if I can't get it on straighter. All right, let's see if I can't stamp this on straighter this time. If I can't. I like to use my grid paper to see if I can't try and stamp it a little bit straighter. Yeah, it's still a little bit crooked. So it must be must be how the stamp is. So it's not, all the words aren't even straight on there. So it must be wild. So that must be how it is, how it's kind of, it's on the whole block that way. So, okay. If you're wild, you're not straight and narrow, right? Okay. Now we're going to use this little one. So once and what's nice about this is it's all the way in the corners. So and you can use either side, but I like this side. So it's stitched all the way in the corners. And it will, when you put it through your machine, it doesn't punch out the middle. It's punched just like this. So it doesn't punch the middle. You get the whole piece. So now what we're going to do, actually I want my pieces back. All right. So sorry for the mess of this, but we're going to use our blender brush. And I didn't want this to be stark white either. So you can't tell on there, but I didn't want this piece to be stark white. So I'm going to take my balmy blue and I'm going to kind of rub the balmy blue on here and make it a little bit blue, kind of like the sky. So I'm going to get on here and just tap off a little bit so it doesn't, and then I'm going to rub on here. And I'm going to, I don't want a whole lot on here, but I do just want it to be making this one a little bit darker, but again, doesn't really matter. I just want this to have some color to it. I just didn't want it to be plain. And down here, you won't really see very much of it, but I debated if I wanted to even do down here, but I do. I want it to have some kind of color, the whole consistency. If you stamp off on here, then you won't get the blotches. I don't like that to be blotchy, so. They got a blotch up there, and I didn't like that, but that sometimes just happens. Okay, so now it's a little bit darker up there, which is fine because that's going to be more my sky anyways. But at least then it's not just stark white, and it's going to have a little bit of a blue tinge to it. So that's kind of nice. All right, so oops, one more stamp thing we're going to do. And that is going to be our It's a Great Day. So, just tell me. Yes, I did. All right, so let's get out our little. So someone showed me a trick when I was watching some videos. So I always try to put these stamps on a block that's usually just about the same size as the block. But she said, then you can't see really how, if it's the same size, the block and the stamp are the same size, then you can't really see the piece that you're trying to stamp on. If that's the same size, you can't see the edges. And I was like, that's a great idea. So I actually put this little tiny stamp, which was easier, but I put it on a bigger block, and actually it was a little bit easier to stamp. I was like, wonderful idea. So, use my head for a second here, but I'm stamping on a little tiny piece, but it was a little bit easier to see the edges just a little bit. If this one, I did mine good. Let's see if I did. Yeah, see, that's a little bit easier. I got it a little bit even up on the top and the bottom, whereas before I would never get it as even. So I was like, that was a great idea. Okay. So I think that's all our stamping. So now let's do coloring. So to color, I already stamped him. So what I did was I stamped our little rhino. He's so cute, isn't he? So I did this rhino. Then we had several different ones, and you could have picked whichever one you wanted to pick, of course. And then I die cut him because all of the 3 different rhinos that are in the set, you can pick which one you want to die cut. They all get you can die cut them all. And then I brought in our Stampin' Blends. And I chose, you could pick any color Stampin' Blends you want. And we have a couple of different gray ones. But I chose the dark and light smoky gray, smoky slate it's called. So I'm going to use the light smoky slate first. And normally I like the paintbrush one, but because this is so small, I'm going to use the side that's like the pen side because it'll be easier for me to control. And I just kind of go the outline first and just kind of get the outline of the whole thing first and get it all outlined. And then I'm going to go in and fill it in, and then I'm going to kind of shade it a little bit, but I like to outline it first. For me, it's easier. You can do however you want to color. It's your coloring thing. You can color it however you want. And then I'm going to kind of go back with the darker one and make some darker spots. But And again, you can pick whatever color you want. Like I said, we have some darker grays. Some have done it brown. I think they're pretty much, their rhinos are different colors. So, and you know, when you color, you can color whatever color you want. Kind of like when you were a kid, and then you picked crayons and you colored things, whatever colors you wanted. Same thing. Color whatever color you want. I've seen them be all different colors. So. Now some have done the tusks, the gray. I've seen them be all different colors. So I picked, we have these flesh color Stampin' Blends. So I chose to do the flesh color one. But you can do them all the same colors. And then I thought it would be kind of cute. We have a little black pin. It is a little hoofs black. All right. So then I'm going to take the dark smoky slate and I'm going to just kind of do a little bit of outline just to give it a little bit of definition. And then like, here's a little definition here. I think that looks so cute. More definition on his legs. A little definition here. Come down here. And you can color it however you want. All right, then we have this. This is our black one. You can't tell that it's black because it looks gray, but I'm going to use this and color his little hoofs. I guess they're hoofs. I don't know what they're called. Okay. And then this, they don't have color names. They have color numbers, but I just picked one. And I'm going to use this to color his horn. And that's all done. All right, so now we're ready to assemble. All right, so let's assemble these two together. Okay, and then let's assemble this on there. Okay. Then where did my green piece go? Yep, there it is. All right, so let's assemble this to this, and I can start building this. So what I did was I used dimensionals for all this other stuff on here. Probably kind of crazy to do that, but I just thought that it really popped by using dimensionals. That really moved on me. There we go. All right. So started with the little grass. So this also, you can cut out the little grass pieces. I stamped this grass piece. So you can also cut out the little grass piece, and then I stamped it also. So I used dimensionals for this. And what I did was I put the dimensionals just at the bottom of this so that I could stick the rhino on the top. So you'll see what I mean when I get this on here. I put the dimensionals on the bottom. And I put this a little bit further down here, not just on the white pieces, just so I'd have enough room to put everything on this card. Okay. And then I put dimensionals on the rhino. And I kind of stuck him. So I kind of made him tucked into the grass a little bit. All right. Also came in there were these leaves. So I cut these lighter green leaves out of some designer paper series. So we have this paper that's called Awash in Beauty, and it's really pretty paper, but it's flower paper on this side, and this lady cut out this greenery, and I saw her do that, and I stole her idea. So I thought that was super cute. This paper is beautiful, and it goes, and it's got kind of light and dark color to it. And I thought that is so amazing. So I chased her idea, and it is beautiful. So these little pieces are cut from that. These bigger ones are the Mossy Meadow. So I need 2 of those little ones. So then I did little dimensionals. There. Sticking in my hands. So just going to put them on here. And this one on top. So, And then it's a great day. Now, I only put dimensionals 2, like in the middle. Again, so I could tuck it. There we go. And now we're ready. All right, so there's a lot of weight on here. You could glue it, but I put tear tape on just because that will make it easier. So in order to do that, so we're going to put this like this. I probably did that too high. Okay, so that's going to be about right. So I'm going to flip it over so that I know where I want to put my tear tape. Right. I know I can at least get one piece on there. I'm going to get a couple at least, but I'll at least get, on mine I got 3, but we'll see. Okay. All right. I should have stamped that down a little bit more. It's going to be uneven. This should actually come down. Oh, yeah, I can do it. And I can put one more piece of tear tape. That way that will hold that on there really nicely. That will be really secure. And then I like to use my, oh, thank you, Mom. Then I like to use my take your pick tool, and that helps me get this tear tape off. You just want to peel one of the little backings. So much easier than trying to fight with it. There we go. All right. I'll put this back on. Let's see where we want to go with this. Yep. Okay. That looks about right. And then we can, yep. There we go. Push that all down. And then I used our classic matte dots, and I put gray. We have these gray ones. Here's our classic matte dots. And I put them in a different spot on mine, but I think this is where I want to put them. There we go. And here is our card for tonight. And then I made this one earlier. So here is our 2 cards that I made for this. And here's, you open it, and then here's your happy birthday. So I just did it just a little bit differently. I just used cardstock, but I still And inside here, it's stamped as well, so it's not quite so plain. So that worked out good because I just was trying to get cards. So I like, oh my goodness, it's not going to work. So it ended up working. My vision ended up working like I wanted it to, but I just thought those are so cute. So I went over a little bit of time, so sorry about that, but they ended up being super cute. So thank you for joining me, and we will see you next week. I don't know that I'll be able to share any new stuff with you. We'll get to hear some new stuff, but not always can we share things, so I'll know better on Wednesday. So I'll know Monday if I can share some new stuff with you. Otherwise, have a great week, and we'll see you next week. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for joining. Bye-bye.